So, good evening and a very warm welcome to you all to Astro Times today. This, how is there any, are there any planetary combinations to identify the psychological disorder of a native? Yes, there are certain planetary combinations which indicate psychological disorders. Okay, I will tell you those combinations now, but because I'm telling these combinations to you, I said the rule of the game is same. You cannot apply this to your natal chart. Application must be done by only a well qualified astrologer. Okay. Now I'll give you some planetary combinations for psychological disorders. For everything, Lagna is omnipresent. For everything, we have to say Lagna. Moon, all of you know the moon represents mind. So, moon is also one factor for psychological disorder. Mercury represents intelligence. Okay, the fourth house of our natal chart represents our emotions, and the fifth house is of intelligence. So if you see our natural this Kala Purusha chakra, the fourth house is of Cancer, which is owned by moon. Moon represents emotions, so Cancer is a sign of emotions. The fifth house is of Sun, that is owned by Leo. The fifth house is Leo, that is owned by Sun. Sometimes we listen, this lion is it's the most intelligent animal. Mercury. Okay. So any affliction to these fourth house or fifth house, fourth house and fifth house, and both the luminaries, sun and moon, your Lagna Lord and Mercury, Lagna Lord, you can predict that there is a psychological disorder. Let me read the combinations once more. Lagna Lord, fourth house, fourth Lord, fifth house, fifth Lord, Sun, Moon, Mercury. To that extent, these signs and planets are reflected in our natal chart or in anybody's natal chart. Severity of the psychological disorder will be to that extent. Okay. So why I am saying it's not only taking a proper medical treatment under a well qualified and experienced doctor, it is also equally important to go for astrological remedies to speed up the recovery process of the patient. That is where exactly astrology comes into play. Okay. You are seeing this natal chart. You are seeing one chart on the board on the screen. Okay. So what you are seeing in the chart, Lagna is occupied by Mars. Mars is fourth lord. So Lagna Lord is aspected by Saturn. So you can see Lagna Lord is Sun. Lagna Lord is aspected by Saturn. Fifth house is also aspected by Saturn. Fifth Lord Jupiter is positioned in second house and also aspected by Sun and Mercury. This Sun and Mercury are already evil. There is an inimical aspect on both Sun and Mercury by Saturn, and in their turn they are further aspecting this fifth Lord. Mercury is debilitated and also along with Sun. Moon is conjunct with Saturn. Fourth lord is in Lagna and he is aspected by Saturn. So there are so many combinations in this chart that you are seeing on your screen to judge that this native has psychological disorders to a great extent. Because in this chart everything is afflicted. The major affliction you can see it is the Moon and Saturn conjunction in the 11th house. Moon and Saturn conjunction in 11th house is somewhat dangerous because it is Rogasthana. So, sixth house is of Rogasthana and sixth from sixth is 11th. So both these planets are conjunct in 11th house. That is one more major drawback in this natal chart. Okay, but when he will suffer? In the dasa or antardasas of the planets involved, not throughout his life. In this, if you can see, this Venus is not involved in this process. Rahu and Ketu are out of picture. Okay, they are in no way connected with any of these planets. So, during the dasa of these rest of the planets or antardasas of these planets, when the Mahadasa of another planet is running, this native may suffer psychological disorder. So what pariharam, what remedy we can suggest? Naturally, this person goes to doctor, say the doctor may suggest some sleeping pills. Because moon is badly afflicted, the 12th lord is afflicted by Saturn. So one way we can say that this native has some sleeping issues. He may not be sleeping properly. So doctor may suggest some anxiety relievers. Apart from anxiety relievers, in which dasa or antardasa the native approach the astrologer can suggest some remedies which will speed up the recovery process. I don't say that if anybody followed these remedies or remedies and measures, the disease will be completely cured or it will be uprooted. 99% is medicine, 1% God. Okay, I'll come back to you with one more chat tomorrow or as and when my time permits me. Until then, goodbye and God bless you all.